guys? My name's Mike. This is All Things Fish, and thanks for tuning in to another video here as we build, what eventually is going to look like a decent little fish room. I hope. In the last video, you saw us rebuild this stand here. So it used to be just a 2-story stand, about 4 feet tall, and now you can see it's that's 6 feet there, and I got a little bit of room to add some shelves or whatever we need up there for storage. And as you can see here, getting ready to put some airlines in. Now we got to work around some of this other mess that's in here, but that's okay. We're just going to reuse this old PVC that I took out of the little 8x10 cabinet over the closet over there. And perfect world, unlimited time, unlimited money, I go ahead and put forth the effort and the money to just buy new PVC, buy all brand new brass or nickel plated taps, and twist those bad boys in one at a time and make this look good. But it's a working fish room. It doesn't have to look good. It just has to be functional. So we're going to patch this bad boy together and add on what we need to add on and make it work for what we are going to do with it for now. So let's take a look and see what we're going to make happen. Alright, so you guys know this room. We've been following along. I hope it's about 12 by 14. It's not big. Yes, it's open. Yes, I know that. This will be eventually the new door. I'm going to scratch that guy out, fill that wall in, move the door over there, close that off, seal this room up so it stays nice and warm and humidity stays limited. But that's down the road. Right now we don't need to do that. We need to get some tanks up and running so we can get some breeding projects going. In order to get tanks up and running, now that we have a stand that will be semi-permanent, we've got some tanks ready to go, but we need to build our airline. And we're just going to make a simple air loop around here, and the air loop, as opposed to a single run, ensures that you're getting equal pressure and ideally equal airflow to all your valves and all your outlets. What we're going to use is this Gemco LPH 45. We're going to mount that bad boy up there over in our electrical corner here, and we're going to go ahead and start mounting this 3/4 inch PVC up around the top, just using some simple pipe straps, and then it'll be ready to go. Nothing too crazy, so let's get going. Alright, like we talked about, our Gemco right there will be mounted up there in the corner, so we got to tie that stick up. What I did was I did start strapping stuff in there. Due to some duct work, we had to just drop down just a touch. Boom, put our exhaust valve in, so our relief valve, to allow us to bleed off any extra pressure, and that's, if you notice, that'll be directly opposite on the loop, to try to help even out pressure around there. And then we started putting in our drops, which again, this right here will be our 8 16-gallon tank rack. Boom, shoots over the door, starting to strap things in over here now. And this will be the triple 40, so 3 40s will hang down there, and I'm just about to turn the corner, boom, and we'll make the stretch over here, back home for the home run. Alright, now as you can see, we got some more pipe hangers to put up to tighten things up, but she is a loop. Now, I like flexibility, and I don't believe that you actually lose that much air by not gluing pieces together, so these are just pressure fit for now. That means I can move them around, rearrange however I want without it being a complete pain in the butt. And despite the way it looks, after some measurements, things should be pretty much level all the way around. Obviously, instead of doing some funky zigzag stuff over here, I just angled one piece to the top. It's just air, shouldn't be a big deal. Now we still do have to mount the air pump. I'm going to build a little shelf, hang that bad boy up there, so that in the event that for whatever reason power goes out, pump quits working, it doesn't siphon out into the pump. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe grab some lunch and then hang that bad boy up and get some more pipe straps going, and this thing will be ready to go. Okay, so there's definitely, some work to do as far as, like I said, I want to put that up on a little shelf up there. I'm going to run a power strip ideally, eventually, I'm going to run a single circuit breaker or a pair of circuit breakers to power this whole room out of that panel there. But for right now, there's just a couple outlets in here. I'm going to mount probably just some power strips up near the ceiling to supply power to the air pump and a few other things in here. So there's definitely work to do. However, I wanted to show you guys kind of a closing video of this thing in action. See, everything's hooked up there. Temporary tanks down here scattered, but I got some fish incoming, so I want to get those acclimated and moving before you know, it's too long and things kind of get too busy for the summer. So you can see all kinds of drops up there. That was one of those pre-made sections that I had. No drops over here yet, so I do have those little self-tapper nickel-plated air valves there that I'll use to make a big manifold out of this whole air loop, and I'll make some drops across there, down there, and down here. Storage messy. Yep, I get it. That'll be 75s. I'll probably use powered filters for that instead of sponge filters, just because of the size of the tank. I could get away with a couple larger sponge filters, but I really like the flow in my tanks, and in these smaller tanks, like a pair of 40 breeders, like you can see here, I have a sponge there and a sponge there, and those create sufficient flow throughout the tank, I think. But in a 75, I really like the water movement of a powered filter. Again, pre-existing strip with taps there to cover those tanks. Some more over here to cover that 16-gallon tank rack that will get moved in here shortly. My exhaust valve to relieve any extra air pressure that I'm not currently using right now. I don't know if you can hear it. I got the water running in the other room, so I apologize. But it's pretty quiet. That foam cover there really quiets things down. All this room over here to expand air lines if I want. You do see these cabinets here. Those will be used for storage, so I don't plan at this time to put any tanks on that wall. And then you can see over here, no taps up there, but there's that big 180. Got to build a stand for that. I'm going to set that up on that wall there, and that'll kind of be a display. So probably again, that'll be a 180 with most likely this 40 breeder sump below it, and that'll kind of round out the fish room depending on how space looks. Undecided. I may do kind of an island in the middle here, maybe like some 20 longs back to back, but we'll see what we have for space and time and energy, really. I don't want to overdo things. It's easy to just keep adding tanks. It's harder to keep up with them, and then actually keep up with them to a point that I'm actually doing positive things with them instead of just putting fish in tanks, right? So again, yeah, so just to break this down, my air loop is powered by a Gemco LPH 45. Now the 45 is the liters per hour. It's the rating that the manufacturer gives it. I do plan to go up to the LPH 60. I got a screaming deal on this, so it works for now, and I'd like to go bigger once I find a good deal on it, whether it's used or see one pop up on sale or whatever. So Gemco LPH 45, maybe 60 in the future. That's just plumbed up to some 3/4 inch PVC, and I wrapped that PVC all the way around the room, just using some 1-inch pipe straps. Put my exhaust valve opposite of the air pump to relieve any extra air that I'm not currently using. It just takes some of the back pressure off the pump, helps extend the longevity of the pump, a longer life. Air drops down using nickel-plated valves. Air drops down using those nickel-plated valves. Some standard airline tubing. I do plan, just for things looking nice in the future, to get a big roll of silicone tubing from Gemco or something and replace all the tubing in here. But for right now, this is how things are going to work, just to get things moving. All 3 of these tanks are running, and we got some scattered tanks over here, just kind of running for the time being. We'll definitely do some rearranging in here. I haven't decided exactly what I want to do. I may do all 10s right now. These are 15s, 2.5 until I get my shrimp tank set up. 10-gallon quarantine and 320 highs with Hamburg Matten filters and some blue Neo shrimp there. These are Altigre Endlers, and there's some orange Neo shrimp in there. And then down here, for the time being, those new acquisitions, that is Crypto Heroes, Nanoludius, those are in a 15, just for kind of quarantine purposes right now. And then they will likely go in this 40, which currently houses some El Silverado Endlers, some Super Red Bristlenoses, and some yellow Neo Shrimp, cruising around there. Probably move the Endlers out, move the Shrimp out, probably into one of the extra 20 with the hamburger mat and filter, move those Crypto Heroes, at least pick a male and female and put them in here, and the others may end up in the 125 upstairs, so we'll see. But that wraps it up, guys. To see a quick rundown, little down and dirty look at building an air loop around this little room. You kind of got to see a couple of the tanks real quick, some of the inhabitants that I have, and those, for the most part, that I have are things that I've had for a while and just kept over through the move. So that's great. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you learned something from it, let me know what you learned. If you were hoping to learn something from it and didn't, feel free to ask a question in the comment below. As always, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell so when videos like this drop, you're the first person to see them. That's it for now. Have a great night.